Welcome to our Rolemaster actual play session. Ain't No Place for a Hero is a campaign set in the world of Duranarki, the continent of men. A gritty, cutthroat world where politics, sorcery, religion, and commerce are all intertwined and reign supreme. Treachery and murder both come cheap, and characters need to be both smart and ruthless to survive. We hope you enjoy our story, and, as always, may the dice roll in your favor.
This is episode 122 of Ain't No Place for a Hero. After completing Keros' revival, the party have decided to turn their attention back to Tarek Nev and the secrets it may hold. We rejoin our heroes just as they have arrived in the sweltering jungle of the Ala-Meng, the Green Festa, their first step on the way to the dead city of Tarek Nev. Hello, I'm Chris, otherwise known as GM Chance. Welcome to our story. That story is Ain't No Place for a Hero. And if you're after heroes, we got a lot of them. 8 of them, in fact. 8 in this game. And there are the faces of our heroes, of the characters in this game, up on screen. In a moment or so, we're going to go to a pre-recording of the players who play those characters to describe a little bit more about them and a little bit about where they're from and what their skills are, etc. And then after we finish with recording, we'll go to the players themselves live to answer a question or share an image or basically just flesh their characters out a little bit more. Why do we spend so much time focusing on characters? Well, this is a character-driven story. Yes, there's fighting in it, and there's spells, and there's other things, but ultimately, it's about the faces up on the screen. So, I think certainly, that spending a bit of time getting to know the players in this tabletop role-playing game called Ain't No Place for a Hero is a good thing to do. Before we do that, before we learn a bit more about the characters up on screen, you can see, the habitual, regular, sincerely meant thank you, really genuine thank you to our followers, to our listeners, to our supporters, to the people that provide comments or advice or just interest with the stories and the characters and what's going on. We get various people writing in with rule suggestions or, hey, have you considered running it this way, which is great because as a referee and as a storyteller, I certainly don't always get it right. So that's really helpful. We get other people just interested in the story and in the characters. And I have to say, Valencia Jones, you are we have a number one fan, I think, and you would be up there. So thank you for all your recent comments and yes, your enthusiasm and your interest in what's going on. And yes, indeed, as per the note that you just sent in the last couple of days, Tarquin was indeed very, very, very late. So the commenters and the thanks is sincerely meant. We do appreciate it, folks, and we're delighted that other people are enjoying this hobby that we do. The user request, please, if you are enjoying it, please, a quick couple of seconds from you down below, clicking the like button, or even better, the subscribe, really does make a difference. It helps the machine, the algorithm, call it what you will. It does help other people like you find these stories and indeed switch on to our channel. A couple of seconds from you really does make a big difference. And please, if you're enjoying it, spread the word. Tell your friends, pass them on to fellow players, whatever. All right, as mentioned before, we will go to the pre-recording, and the first person to kick us off on the pre-recording for the last time, sadly, is Mason. Mason has been a long-standing player in this game. 3 years, we discovered before, and this will probably be her last session tonight. We're about to go to the pre-recording of Mason right now.
Kia ora, I'm Mason, and for this episode I'm playing Demos. He's a very attractive, very hunky, very buff mixed man. Really great with his spear and shield, and he can whip out some swords if he needs to. He's not the most intelligent person, but he makes up for it with a lot of kindness, a lot of gentleness, except for when he's fighting. And he's been with the party for a little while, has thoroughly enjoyed his time with them, is very much looking forward to saving the world, and on the side he is looking and hoping to find his long lost sister that was kidnapped a long time ago.
Hi, I'm Pete, and in this episode I'll be playing Leif. Leif is a half-elf warrior mage, which means he uses weapons as well as magic. He's a friendly fellow, very empathetic, and a really kind member of the party.
Kia ora, I'm Alex, and for this episode I'm playing Keros. Keros is a young North woman. She's a weather mage, a pretty powerful weather mage with some very cool spells. She's quite sweet and kind, a bit emotionally labile, but wears a heart on her sleeve and a strong moral compass. She also has a companion, a cat called Victory, who's a very important member of the party, and Victory was rescued, there's Victory, a wee while ago from impending doom.
Hi, my name's Giles, and for this episode I'm playing Tarquin. So Tarquin is a young, ridiculously good-looking half-elf. During his early life and adolescence, he's been well-trained in the gentle arts of thievery, charming others using his remarkably good looks, and of course, violence. He is in his own way a religious man, and he's out looking for some understanding as to what's happened to his homelands.
Hi, I'm Graham. I play Neathanel Sherakir. She is a Magent, which is a mix of stealthy skills, fighting skills, and magic skills, mentalism, magic of the mind. She is a complex character, something of a religious fundamentalist who believes in assassination as a sacred endeavour. She keeps that well hidden, however. She is a dab hand with a short sword, and uses her magic and sneaky ability to good use in sneaking up on her adversaries.
Hi, I'm Aiden, and I'm playing Grey. Grey is a very handsome half-elf who doesn't really believe in wearing shirts. He's constantly just displaying his body all the time, which, he's got it, so he's flaunting it. He's got a bit of a tragic backstory. Pretty much everyone he's ever really cared about has been murdered brutally, but despite that, he's still a lovely guy. He's very caring, cares a lot about his teammates and also animals, loves animals, as he is a beastmaster, so he has the power to I don't know, not control, well, he can control animals, but he can also kind of interact with them and understand them and get them to help him do what he needs to do. When he's not using his magic, he is a bit of a dab hand with an axe. He is very good at chopping things, chopping enemies, and also good with a little bit of stabby and a crossbow as well. He has a bird called Wingy that is his best friend that needs to have a bit more of a story, I guess. She'll come into it a bit more like down the road, I think. Yeah, that's great.
Kia ora, I'm Pete, and I'll be playing Mithan in this episode. Mithan is a ranger. She's a high man. She's pretty good at outdoor skills and she's a pretty good archer. She's not a people person. She doesn't really care about people's feelings, although she's beginning to in this party.
Hello, I'm Graham. I play Etienne Gilderflower. He is a genitrist, which is a type of paladin or holy warrior. He follows the teachings of Aphrodite, the goddess of love, and he believes that her will leads him on, and he makes decisions based on the dreams he receives or thinks he receives from his goddess. He has joined the party on a mission to, as he understands it, to save the old order, the world as they know it. He is a very charming, very good-looking man, a very eccentric man, speaks in riddles and rhymes most of the time, but he believes in a higher purpose. He's a very dab hand with a sword, usually found in full plate.
There we go, gentle viewer and indeed gentle listener. Hopefully those faces mean a little bit more now up on the screen. As mentioned, as well as the pre-recordings, we like to spend a bit of time at the beginning of each game to answer a question about the character, or share an image, or basically just delve a bit more into that character's past. And today, we're kicking it off with Aiden. Aiden, take it away, please.
Hello, I'm playing Grey tonight, and the question I'm going to answer is what hobby would you like to spend more time doing? And I think I've answered this one before, but Grey really enjoys whittling. He loves making like little woodland creatures and like little keepsakes that he gives and like leaves for his other compatriots, his companions. He's always finding time to whittle, but he'd love to do it a bit more. And I think he's quite interested in like learning how to like whittle like little wooden flutes and instruments like that maybe he can use to make music for Wingy and other potential love interests.
And other potential love interests. Ooh,
yeah.
Interesting. Excellent. Thank you. Who would you like to hear from?
Definitely Keros.
Oh, so sweet. Thank you, Aiden. I love these nights when I just can't decide on the questions. They're all really, really good. And I'm still not sure which one I'm going to answer. I'm going to go with, I think the most interesting would be, how do you generally treat others? And I think before Keros had like fully died and lost her death saves and then came back, I think she was very kind and thoughtful and liked to see the good in people and always gave them an out. I have a feeling that she might have some lowered tolerance for some stuff going forward. And I think with sort of, I don't want to say near-death experience because it was a death experience, and as she learns more about from the party like what actually happened and the lengths that they go to, she will become more fierce in her protectiveness of the team and less worried with the morals of how she interacts with others. It's just a guess. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's probably where we're heading with her.
Interesting. Cool.
Yeah. I want to answer the rest of them, but I'll be here all night. Can we please hear from Giles and Tarquin?
Yes.
Thank you. I think you're going to be here all night anyway, Alex. So the question that Tarquin's going to take a punt at is, when did you decide to become an adventurer? And I guess the answer to that is Tarquin didn't really decide to become an adventurer. So not very long before he met the party, in fact, the village he lived in was ransacked. And in the process of being ransacked, he discovered that the people who ransacked his village were sent by the UPP. And in the aftermath of that, and in the sort of, I guess, kind of brutal way sometimes people behave when it all goes badly wrong, one of his very good friends was found guilty of having led them into the village and was summarily executed. At which point Tarquin decided he would need to take his own revenge on the UPP. Not really sure who they are, but is pretty confident that that's who did it. And so leaving was partly because he didn't want to befall the same fate as his friend, and partly because he's got a bunch of people for whom he needs to seek revenge on. And that's Tarquin, and maybe we could hear from Graham.
Alrighty, sorry, just getting myself organised. Right, I'll start with Yathanol. What journey particularly sticks in Nathanol's mind, and why? I think that will probably be the awful journey that we took by sea after being captured by the aforementioned TPP. And yes, we were captured, manacled in a hold, and underwent all manner of horrible tortures for an extended period. So it was very stressful. The memory of that still traumatizes probably most of the party who underwent that, and that would be pretty raw in her mind. And perhaps like Tarquin would really like to stick her blade into those responsible for that more than anyone. And then turning to SEM, how do you treat others? Very equally, quite noticeably actually. You'll notice when Etienne speaks to people, he doesn't really change his manner much, whether he's talking to sort of everyday peasant in the mud or a king in a chair. His tone remains quite consistent. He sort of sees everybody as equal in his mind. That does make him stupid when he needs to adopt a custom with it to avoid insulting people or for the interest of the party to toe the line. He'll do so, but he does so reluctantly. He likes to, in his head, there's no difference between a king and a serf. They have equal value in the world. So I don't know, it's odd how he's up against a proto-Marxist organisation when perhaps in some surface way they might have something in common. But yes, that's Etienne.
Excellent, thank you. Lovely.
I think we better hear from Demos, don't we?
Hello. So for Demos, lost the question. When did you decide to become an adventurer? I don't know if you ever really fully decided to become an adventurer. After looking after the princess, he decided to go search for his sister, and then just kind of fell in with this random band of people at a set of trials that he didn't really want to participate in, and just kind of fell into this group and just fell into becoming an adventurer, and he's had a great time.
There we go. Nice.
I'll pass to Pete.
Lovely. Hello, Pete. Your mic's off. I can't hear you. Nope, can't hear you. How strange. He's jumping out and jumping back in again.
What about now?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, that was weird. Thank you for letting me know. So I was saying, for Leif, I'm answering the same question, which is when did you decide to become an adventurer? So for his life so far, which is he's old, he's sort of 80 to 100 years old because he's half elven. he lived with his human family, and his brothers and his mum and dad and brothers, and he was very close to them, and so wouldn't have, he was very happy with his life with them. A few years ago, his final blood relative or close brother died, and so after a suitable period of mourning, that's when he decided to become an adventurer. That was the end of that part of his life. He just sort of couldn't. There's nothing else in his old life for him, really. I mean, he did have other relations, but this wasn't the same. So he made a conscious decision to go and explore the world. And part of that was going and finding this book of magic, and part of it was trying to find his mum. So, let's have a chance. For Mythan, same question. When she decided to become an adventurer, well, she had been on adventures earlier in her life, 20 or so years earlier.
Yep.
Sorry.
Could I just interject there for viewers that don't know? This is actually the second campaign that we have brought Mythan out of retirement for. She was in a previous game that we ran 10 years ago, Pete, back in 2014. About that.
Oh, seems like a long time ago. But so that was to do that. That's linked to this campaign. There's Tales of the World had discovered weapons found in an old Lords of Arcana sort of dash of knowledge, and the original adventure that she was on linked in with that. The party she was looking for was looking for this library. They didn't end up. Her part ended before the library was found, but there was certainly a lot of bloodshed on that adventure. And some traumatic events. After those events, she decided to just go bush. She took it quiet, and she went back to her hometown, reconnected with her mentor, that sort of thing, and continued to explore her love of nature and different sort of climates, environments, understanding different ecosystems, and traveling, but not as an adventurer, traveling in her own way and doing her own thing. Until in Cropelan, she was exploring Cropelan, which is sort of a neighbouring kingdoms over from her home one. Came across someone that she'd met on a boat, Valdez, who was an original party of the hero, a member of the hero party, and she had reconnected with him, and for some reason was drawn into this party, and just sort of saw the need, and before she knew it, she was sort of being swept along in the cause. So she sort of by default just became an adventurer, against her will. But now she's invested. Yeah.
And yes, indeed, that former campaign, it's called Divided We Fall, was all about finding the library that things like devil dust and other things were found in, and the Rite of Azar, etc. was found in. So that was the forerunner to the various magics, some of the magics that have had an impact on the world. Excellent. Well met, one and all. Well introduced. There we go for viewers and... oops, why isn't my Discord being picked up by my recording software? Anyway, that's the team. Pete, as is now habit, would you mind providing us with a recap of what happened last time?
Sure thing. Is my mic working?
Yes, yep, coming through loud and clear.
I'm really paranoid about that. So we started the last session in our sort of safe house in Landania. After having discussions with our Unity guides and sort of things. So that first day, luckily, we'd started to get worried about Tarquin's absence, and luckily he was delivered to us, paralysed in a handcart. That was the lucky bit. But he was delivered with the lucky bit. He wasn't in a particular good state. Unburnt, bitten, but more importantly, paralysed. Let us know that he had cast some healing spells on himself that would take 10 more days. 10 more days, thank God. To take effect. So yeah, we had a little bit of a challenge there with what we're going to be doing with our plans. No, good to get him back. During the rest of the course of that day, we had more talks with the Nereti guides. We bought a stretcher because we wanted to use that for our provisions and perhaps Tarquin. We went and visited Old Man Tilia, who is reputed to have had knowledge of how to get into Tarek Nev, get through the Red Gate of Tarek Nev, which is where we were destined. Yes, there is Old Man Tilia. Fellow. He insisted that everyone who was going be present, so we lugged Tarquin in a coffee
Just
town.
getting a bit of feedback from someone there. Is that someone in the background, Pete,
Yeah,
or something?
yes, there is. Hang on a second. Sorry about that. So yes, we all agreed we agreed to go through the scant of the Red Gate, which was the ritual of us getting access to certain information, which involved the picture of the scene on screen, sort of a big ritual basically, where we all sort of keyed into a memory stone, of the memory stone of Fana Tilia, which let us see events. Yes, there we go. Thank you. This fellow here, a vision of this fellow, and hearing the conversations he had, him recounting his experiences of the battle against the forces of Scarthus at Tarek Nev, and hearing the summoning of a demon by Varama Bear, who was the sort of one of their generals, basically a reincarnated Nereti war leader, basically. And this fellow heard her summon a demon and use its name, and we believe that that's the key information that we need to help us get us through the Red Gate into Tarek Nev by somehow using this demon's name against it. So interesting, and we paid 10 gold pieces each, which seems to be quite a lot for this information, but I suppose it was, in the scheme of things, we're invested now. The agreement of this ritual was with Old Mentally was, of course, we forget this information until we are within sight of walls of Tarek Nev. So shortly after leaving his house, we forgot all about this information. We also swore to his goddess, well, some of us swore to his goddess, Orgiana, that we would not share this information if we somehow retained it or whatever. So that was the income of the family. Others swore on other gods, each their own. After that, we made, I suppose, at that point, we probably made the decision of the party to wait until Tarquin's fully healed.
Right.
But you're going to talk a little bit more about that, I think, Chris. But eventually we would have waited those days and then off to the Navigator Stone and off to Port Vestilis in the Ala-Meng, the Green Festa, eventually to get to Tarek Nev.
Well done, Pete. Great job. Any qualifying questions? Anything that isn't clear to anybody? Anything that we need to touch on or go over? Okay. So, excellently recounted. Thanks, Pete. Exactly as you said, you decided to wait for Tarquin's health to improve. You were thinking of going to Tarek Nev on the either the 5th or the 6th of the new year. It is, of course, 1787 now. But you decided, based on Tarquin's health, that actually it was better to wait. You ended up waiting until the 11th, when Tarquin was able to get very stiffly off his bed, bend his neck from side to side, and basically just say, "I'm cured!" After being lying on a bed for the last 10 days, and you guys looking after him. And also buying him a brand new coat, because his coat was taken. So the very next day, you go with your two Nereti guides. Your main guide is this gentleman here, Pashket, His offsider is Silsi. They're both armed. Well, actually, there's a third person, a very nervous-looking man. This is his first time to venture into the Green Festa, a man that was introduced to you as Tahoe, and he is the carpenter. His job, you've been told, is to repair. Hopefully you find a boat somewhere going downriver, and it's his job to repair the boats. Some kind of rivercraft. One thing I'm just remembering we didn't do off camera is encumbrance. Did anybody have a chance to look at that? Did anybody have a chance to figure out how encumbered they were with the nearly 50 pounds of additional gear? No, we're getting nods, shakes all around. So I guess until we do that, guys, you're going to have to. I guess we're going to have to say that you dump your packs, or if we are in a situation where you might need to move or run or do something with your packs, there will be a penalty because your packs are now 50 pounds heavier, and even for the most strongest people in the party, that's a lot of weight. So if we only played a few days ago, so fair enough, you haven't had the chance to have a look at it. But if we could have a look between now and next time, that'd be great. So just to round things off, that is Tahoe up on the screen. Now all three of your M.E.R.P people, Pashket, Silsi, and Tahoe, are all armed. Certainly Silsi and Silsi and Pashket are armed with better quality, very meaty-looking weapons called falchions. Both Pashket and Silsi also carry bows, in addition to cooking gear and various other things for survival in the filth that is the Green Festa. Tahoe, as mentioned, carries quite a lot actually. So he's quite a small man, but carries quite a surprising amount of carpentry equipment. A couple of saws, chisels, hammers, mallet, plane, all kinds of equipment, and some nails as well. He's quite laden down, and basically a sword and a smaller and his food, in addition to the gear he's taking. He's definitely slow and is quite encumbered. And with that, yes indeed, you go to firstly this rather dismal looking building here with the ragtag, disheveled soldiers of Landana in rusted armor with falling to bits weapons, lackluster standing around. Your guide, Myrna, comes and speaks firstly to the guards that are on duty, and then to a navigator who is summoned, and in short order with the navigator making it very clear that he is going absolutely nowhere near the Ala-Meng, but he will transport you there for the agreed fee. You have no idea what the agreed fee was, but knowing a little about the world's economics, you suspect it was probably quite a lot. There is a tremendous noise that some of you, well, all of you are now familiar with, having travelled via Navigator Stone before. And with a sickening rush, you find yourselves here. It is hot, it is sweaty, it is sticky. You can hear the flies and the insects buzzing around you immediately as you land. Very first thing that you're doing, if you hadn't done it before, is applying and slapping this foul-smelling, slightly orangish-coloured goo all over your exposed skin. And absolutely, more for as the day wears on, absolutely, it does make a difference. But it doesn't stop the bites completely. You are still all being bitten. Later on today, we'll be asking for a roll about that. But it certainly stops the majority of them. But it is sweating, it is hot, there is movement up in the trees. You're aware of monkeys and other animals kind of scurrying around. and the heat is hot, and I mean it's hot in Landana to begin with. It's utterly oppressive here. The good news is, perhaps much to your amazement, it's not raining. Amazingly, it's not raining, and there is actually a little bit kind of forlorn sunshine seeping in. The instant you arrive, your Nureti guides draw their weapons and have them out. And they are ready for action. I did mention last time that some of you perhaps were feeling unwell. We're not going to go through that right now, because we're not going to go through that right. So, the moment you all arrive, there is a sickening thud. You're all feeling decidedly woozy and out of it. We'll start just simply with the names listed on the screen. Any action for Grey when he first arrives?
How bad is the mosquitoes and stuff at the moment? Is it like really, really bad, or is it like
this orange goo that you've smeared on your bodies has definitely made a big difference. If you didn't have that, you could almost see yourself being literally eaten alive. It has made a big difference, but you are still being bitten. Probably the most controlled you can be.
Okay, cool. He might have an interesting little spell that he can use once it wears off.
Okay.
But he probably won't do that for now. For now, he'd just be kind of, I guess, general percepting and just kind of, just being aware of his surroundings, having a look around.
Okay, cool. I'll do a bit more of a description in a second. Going down my list, Etienne.
Etienne, they've actually already purchased some insect repellent, and so you asked the guides what insect repellent they've actually currently got on.
Melton.
Because we actually have all the characters actually have Delrian, which repels any insect. So I think he'd like to try applying a bit of Delrian.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
See if that helps.
How many?
Because if he's still being bitten.
How many doses does he have?
Hang on. We have 10 each.
Okay.
And yeah, but it repels any insect, smells foul, but he's happy to smell badly.
Okay.
I don't think anything else smells nice where we are, so.
Okay.
So he'll slap some of those on and see if the insects stop biting him.
Okay, cool. So one thing that is going to be really important for this expedition is keeping track of resources. That means absolutely keeping track of water and keeping track of food. It's hot and sticky here. You've got with you 4 pounds of water already, so 2 water skins each with 2 pounds in them, and you will definitely go through a minimum of 2 pounds of water a day, and then water will need to be replenished. So definitely keeping track of water and food as well is key, and also insect repellent too. Okay, he starts slapping some stuff on. Nyathan.
Well, likewise, that sounds like a good idea. If we're still being bitten, and we know there's a risk to being bitten, and she'll slap some on as well.
Yep. Life.
Life is. We'll do the same. So we'll knock off one dose of that. He will have his sword out and shield out, and we'll be wanting to look at moving into some sort of a formation for us to be travelling in.
Okay.
You can happy look to Etienne, whoever's in charge, to suggest one.
Okay. Mifan?
Nathan will have loaded her, will string her bow,
Mm-hmm.
and will have is it practical for her to have an arrow on the string?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. She will perhaps not do the insect repellent, hoping that the description of that Stellarian is that it smells foul, apparently. So maybe everyone else reading it will help. She will have expressed, and I haven't done it in action, but she will have expressed to the party previously that each night, knowing that they're going to a disease-ridden place, she will have told everyone that she is happy to cast a first level spell on everyone each night, so i.e. hopefully before she, well, at the end of the day, when hopefully she doesn't need any more power points willing, and before she gets them replenished, which is disease purification, which is stops infection and or spread of disease in one target after they have acquired the disease. So insects do get, I think that's a sensible. She's happy to take that risk that she'll use need those power points. 8 power points, 9 power points a day at the end of the day is not a bad thing.
Cool. Thank you.
So,
Excellent.
so she will have shared that with everyone previously.
Okay.
She's swinging the bow and knocking the arrow.
Nice one. Tarquin.
So a little bit of rinse and repeat. Goo, he'd been wanting to look around. He's feeling a bit paranoid about life. He'll want to make sure that there's nothing obvious out to get them. He'd have his bow out, arrow on the string. He'd be prepped to cast, and I think at this point he would be looking to the leader of the pack. Not quite sure who's in charge. Really, someone will be. And we want to know, if a bunch of people appear, do you want me to drop the place into darkness? And the other place he's going to be looking for is somewhere to fly himself to if it all goes badly wrong.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
So he's going to ask the party that question because, of course, he can see, but nobody else will be able to, and they know what that's like now. And they might prefer to face what he was coming or hide in the blackness.
As a reminder too, preparation, you're at a 90% action. Yep.
Put on round.
What's that? Sorry?
Yeah. So he wants to be as prepared as he can be.
Yep.
Should we end up in rounds?
Yep. Okay. Very good. Keros.
She will also be keen to cover her poor skin with insect repellent. She'll be wanting to know what's happening with Victory and the bugs. She'll be reminding the team that she is at a deficit. But if called upon, she can do something like an air wall for dense churning air for if there's like a bug squall. I don't know. Is if the critters are going to fly on Matt. I'm just thinking of the Hunger Games. Book 2, really. Yeah, to throw up
ideas. Don't give him ideas.
Oh, he's got his own ideas. I don't need to give him any. So something like an air wall. She could try out post death where she is with her spells and so on.
Okay, great.
But Victory, she'd be keen to make sure Victory's protected because nothing's to happen to that cat.
Okay. And Demos?
He'd want to slap on some of that dosage bug spray stuff. And then he'd just want to keep an eye out to make sure there's kind of nothing threatening looming around. And have his spear and shield just sort of out and kind of ready to defend or attack if needed.
Okay, sure thing. So, certainly a perception roll I picked up there for both Tarquin, Grey, and Demos. So, could you give me rolls, please? I'll start.
Oh, sorry.
Yep.
I was just going to butt in while the boys were doing that. Keros would offer to help Grey apply some of his bug spray, because she knows that he may not have started that process yet. So if there's any hard to reach places, happy to help.
He wouldn't know how to speak. He would just go like, oh.
This is going to be the most awkward romance. Excellent. Excellent. I'll do your back, love. All right. Giles, you're first on my screen. Give me a master dice roll, please.
75. And he's at 98 for his general perception.
Sure. Okay. And we'll do Mason. Demos.
Rolled a 60,
60, thank you.
and his perception's 50.
Cool. All right. And then finally, Grey.
He got a 16,
16.
and his perception's 38.
Cool. So all three of you, I'll describe the scene to all of you, and probably those three in particular taking in a little bit more information. The building that you're in was once very, very grand. The roof's long since caved in and completely and utterly collapsed a long time ago. There are other buildings further on to the back, away where the cursor is. Off to the side, you catch there are gaps and quite large holes in the wall, and you catch a glimpse of the swamp proper that lies behind. It doesn't, fair to say, it doesn't look especially inviting. This is kind of the terrain that you're seeing. You're catching glimpses through the walls. In front of you are a set of stairs which go down, and you think in that direction. So the way the camera is looking, the way we are looking at this, appears to be the exit. A flight of stairs out and into more kind of extremely large stone ruins. Some are more intact than this building here. Some have roofs, etc. And you can just make out, you think, a glimpse of what looks like a slow-moving, very slow-moving, either river or swamp, down and to your right. You're not exactly on a hill. This land, and indeed Landana itself, was incredibly flat, so you're not especially anything like a hill, but you're perhaps a little bit on a rise here. The only other information that those that did perceptions, and indeed the rest of you really pick up, the main thing is, for those that did perception rolls, you didn't really gain much more information. There are the constant sound of insects, and yes, they do definitely dissipate once you start putting on the unpleasant smelling, both your own insect repellent and the orange malin. I think I wrote down malin. It's called malin. Once you've put that on your bodies, the insects have definitely dissipated a bit. Actually, quite a lot. The malin appears to have about the same effect as the stuff that you put on, from what you can see. The guides, led by Pashket, were very, very nervous to begin with when they arrived. They were absolutely ready to fight. Pashket, that's a good question actually. Does Pashket? Yeah, both Pashket and Silsi both have shields, so they are they made an express point of saying they are here to guide you, not to defend you or to fight for you, but they can, by the looks of things, they can certainly take care of themselves. Their falchions, as already described, pretty solid, got bows, etc., as already mentioned, and yes, they are carrying shields, and they are both, Pashket is in a leather breastplate, and Silsi himself is in chainmail. So they're not just, you get the sense that they can handle themselves. And the way that they are around their weapons and gear would give you some confidence. So they were very tense when they first arrived. They had their weapons out, expecting God knows what. And looking around at you all, Pashket just puts his finger on his lips and just sheaths his sword. And just says in a very, very low voice, isn't sure what to expect. Masters, mistress, let's make our way down to the river. And he begins to move off. He's out in front. Silsi is at the back, and Tahoe. Some of you feel a little bit sorry about Tahoe, the humble carpenter. The colour has basically drained from his face, and he, of anybody in the portal jump from Landana to here, he's looking the most seasick and green, and he certainly vomited the most. He really is quite in pretty poor shape. But you collect your gear, shoulder your packs, and begin to move off, unless anybody says anything else.
I've pasted in a suggested order, but by all means, it's just a starting point. My only thought was that perhaps the outdoor people might want to go off ahead with good perception and outdoor skills and so forth. That's why they're at the front. But if you want to change it around a bit, Etienne doesn't mind going at the front, but he's got really shit perception, so it's probably not a good idea. But if we can go two abreast, there's a two abreast. But feel free to change it, guys, as you see fit.
Okay. Could you pop in, please? Pashket at the front of Grey, and then.
Are we two? Can we go two abreast?
Yes, you can. Yep. Pashket is in the front, definitely, and Silsi is at the back by themselves. And then if you pop Tahoe in between Etienne and Demos, Niathan and Keros, please.
Tahoe. And so, what was the last guy called?
Silsi. S-I-L-S-E-E. And Pashket at the front.
I like that.
Perfect.
That was a good order to me. So to say, Mithan would be keen on doing tracking role of perception, of course, but also, as well as looking specifically for tracks, animal tracks, undead tracks, and the other party.
Yeah, sure.
Just in general terms, when she's at the front and the track.
Okay. Where is she? Oh, yeah, she is at the front. Okay, so as you move out of this area, I will ask for a roll for speed. And this will take you down some way as well, not just in this area.
Yep, she rolled a 60.
Yep, very good. Very bad. Yep, and plus what?
57. Tracking.
Yeah, there have definitely been other humanoid feet through here wearing boots, for sure. You definitely see that there have been other feet through here not wearing boots, but that's about it. You don't pick up a lot of information. Sure. You move out and you move further down towards what you're now definitely certain is a river. And you pass through several almost like, say, bays or docks. I'm not quite sure how you'd describe them. Areas where boats might be, and also where these ruins come down to the river. The first one looks like this. Slime covered in creeper and vines, clearly abandoned for a very, very long time. You can see buildings there, windows and doors. Inside's nothing. And kind of a theme that I've picked up over my real life travels. Ruins tend to be ruinous, right? There's actually often not a lot in ruins. And in this place, this has been picked over and scrapped over for a long time. You kind of glance in doors and windows, and there is very little. Any actions from anybody as you basically bypass this area. You don't even stop in. This is on the way down to the room. Any actions I should be aware of?
Don't need to be doing any rolling, Chris, unless you really want to. But if Tarquin's at the back, he'll be keeping a close eye on the tail of the party and looking to see if there's anything that might do them ill.
Sure. Got it.
Etienne mentioned to the party that if he asks people to bunch, he suggests they get as close to him as possible. He is aware that there are things that are not dead in this swamp, and he does have a spell that he could cast, which provides some modicum additional protection from fear. It will give you a plus on your resistance roll. So he'll just mention that to people, that if he does say bunch and people are able to bunch, it might be in their interest to do so. Are you within 10 feet of him?
Yep. Walking through, and you can continue further on, and definitely the sounds of water and moving water. It's definitely slow moving water. Let's get louder. But you can definitely hear the sounds of water. And you come to a second one of these areas, bays, if you like, equally ruinous. It's like this. A bit further on. You're walking, if you imagine the image that we're seeing, there's quite a large stone area that you're walking down to, like a colonnade that you're walking past. And suddenly at this one, Mitham, there's no tracking roll required. There is, you all see it, there's the sign of blood, old blood by the looks of it, and it's under a colonnade. You can see some of the colonnades there, so if it had rained, and it does seem like it rains a lot in this area, it's undercover, hence the reason it probably hasn't been washed away. You also see a lot of footprints, a lot of different footprints. Some humanoid and wearing boots, and some not wearing boots, very clearly. The area, it appears as though quite some fight has taken place here. Pashket doesn't walk into it. He bends down and kind of starts surveying the grounds. And I'd like a perception roll from both Mitham and Tarquin.
60 for Mitham.
60 for Mitham. Cool. And what's her bonus, please?
83.
Okay. And Tarquin?
2.
10?
2.
Okay. And what's his bonus?
98.
Tarquin, coming into your chat in a second. Anybody else doing anything, saying anything? Any actions I should be aware of?
On the side of the blood, looking around, perceiving the area, just making sure there's nothing lurking anywhere. Hands on weapons.
Sure.
What's Victory's reaction?
Yeah. Good question, actually. She is. She's not quite. Quite hissing, but she's not happy. Her fur's up, and she is not liking this place at all. Neither are you, to be honest. Any of you.
So, Chris,
there is this feeling. Hang on a sec, Giles. There is this feeling of just ominous, almost dread, a weight to this place, a sense of age, and despair, and hopelessness. It just, there's something very, very badly wrong about this place. Tarquin.
Tarquin would lean forward into the group and tell people in a low voice, but loud enough for everyone to hear that he can smell smoke. And he'd be asking people to look out to see if they can see where that smoke is coming from, and he will be doing that too. I'm pretty sure smoke is a smell that doesn't hang around, really. So it has to be pretty recent. Tarquin's worried his bow would be back out with an arrow on it.
Okay.
And he'll be looking around for the source of the smoke.
Okay, sure.
Able to sniff direction, Grey? Or
good idea.
He'd definitely be keen to have a good sniff. I'm not sure if he can smell directions, but maybe he can smell where it's coming from, I guess, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, give me a go.
Cool. 11.
11. Yeah, don't forget it. Well, don't forget it's masked. It could be amazing.
Wonderful.
Could you roll again, please?
Sure. 52.
2. Cool. And what is his perception?
38.
Grey, you've got no idea. Unfortunately, Grey, you're drawing a complete blank. You're not even sure you can smell smoke. Is Tarquin blowing smoke up your ass? You don't know. You can't smell it. You think he's bonkers. But suddenly, Peshket goes, no, you're right. I smell. I can smell.
Can Yatham see if can Yatham try?
Sure.
99. It's not masked, so that's good.
It's not masked.
It is. We usually make that decision after we rolled up. And plus 82.
Yeah, it's very, very faint, Nathaniel. Tuck clearly has a good nose, but you and Pashket are pretty sure that it's up to in front of you, and then to the left. Mithan as well. I'd also ask, just before everybody starts tramping across this ground with tracks, can you make a roll, please?
84.
Must, of course. Can you roll again?
65.
And what's your bonus?
57. And not to sort of be leading the witness, but I thought Gray had a tracking skill that might be better than.
Sorry,
the
what
pan.
was the second roll, Pete? I missed the second roll.
65. 65.
Thank you.
65.
And then her perception is
50, her tracking or perception?
tracking, please.
Yeah, 57.
Okay. You think you're not sure, Mytham, but you think the numbers in front of you are somewhat on the small side. 5, maybe 10 people, but you're not sure.
Okay, she'll pass that information on.
Sure. Nyathan also wanted a try as well. Is that right?
She went.
She did. Yes, that's right.
We'll offer though to the guide if the guide and her want to go on ahead, she doesn't mind,
We
sneaking up.
Mistress.
Okay. All right. All good.
You move on cautious. I mean, he is slightly out ahead, but when I say slightly, I mean 10, 15 foot. He says, "We stay together, mistress. The twice living, they will already know. They will smell us. And they will already come for us. We are best to stay together." He moves forward and gestures you to come forward again. And you move on to the third of these areas, similar to what you've just seen. This one looks like this. Again, you're in this covered colonnade area at the back, and in one of the rooms off to the side, there is the remains, and also on this colonnade area, there is the sign of struggle. Clearly, someone finds quite horrifically what looks like a piece of finger. There's the remains of entrails. Find a couple of teeth, some hair, and there's a lot. The whole area has been, the dirt and the grass and all the other foliage in here has been turned up quite considerably. Inside this colonnade area, there's a further room at the back. It only has a relatively small window, well and truly out of any rain or any elements. Pashket just holds up his hand and says, "The twice living dislike the light, but they can operate in it. I will go and inspect. Please wait." He goes up, checks the door cautiously. "Come." And peering inside, you see the remains of a large fire. It's whoever made this fire have you can see up on screen. There's quite a lot of wood. Most of it's rotten and wet and useless, but some of the wood is undercover, but some of it's relatively dry. And whoever's here, and you can see the remains of bits of wood and detritus from the wood splintered outside. Whoever has been here, looks like comparatively recently, has smashed up some of this wood and has built quite a bonfire inside this room. And it would have been glowing pretty damn hot and would have been burning, you think, for quite some time. And you can just make out glowing embers in the fire. So just a tie, and the amount of smoke that's coming off it is minuscule. It's probably been burning down for, goodness knows, days perhaps. The amount of smoke that's coming off it is not much. But that's what Tarquin's keen nose picked up, you think.
Ask opinions of how long it's...
Inside the bonfire, there are the remains of a lot of bone. A lot of bone. Skulls, arm bones. You would, goodness knows how many people, but certainly more than 5, possibly even as many as 10. Sorry, questions?
Anyone can estimate how long that fire, when it was burned and when it was lit? Do the guides have any idea?
Does anybody have a survival? I mean, both the guys will have a look and sure thing. But does anybody have like any kind of survival skill or outdoor skill that might be applicable? Even just survival skill. Nope.
Presumably Mythan and Grey might have something that related.
Gray's just he's got tracking. That's kind of it, really. Tracking.
What's his tracking skill, by the way?
72.
Advanced mathematics.
So I think Gray should be doing the tracking roles because he's got a higher skill than Mythan. So can I just Mythan would? I think they've known that. I've recalled that from past and we've worked together.
So Chris, Tarquin has a skill called woodcraft.
Ooh.
Does that include the burning thereof?
What does it say?
I don't have the description in front of me, I'm afraid.
I'll have a look.
Thanks, Pete. That would be really helpful.
Gray will be very interested in your whittling abilities with your woodcraft.
Might be time to do some woodland.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Always handy to have the description of the skill that you want to do. Have you got it, Pete, or do you want me to get it? You're on mute, Pete.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just looking in the House Rules wood crafting? Bonus with skill craftsmanship. Yeah, such as jeweler, wood, fletching, arrow making, copper etching, stone carving, wood crafting. So I think it's a crafting skill.
It's a making skill. Yep, cool.
Yeah.
So Pashket, who definitely is older and appears more experienced, comes up and he has a look around this room. How long? He turns to the ethanol. Hard to say. It could have been burning many days. It was a big fire. It's no more than... No, I can't be sure. Some days, perhaps. We are unlikely to... He turns to the party. We are unlikely to find a boat here. Although, Silsey, please go and look. And he points out a boat down here. The remains of perhaps what was once a boat. We will quickly look here and then we'll go to the main docks. And then if we see nothing from the main docks, unless anybody wants to look at anything else or inspect anything else, my suggestion is we move on. There is an evil aspect, of course, to Stilis. He looks around for approval.
When your hands on, buddy.
Okay. Silsey heads down, inspects the remains. You can just make it out there in the image. I mean, he comes back and he's just shaking his head. No, not a chance. It's done. You move on a little bit further, and you come down to some quite wide stairs initially, that then go down, and you can see spread out in front of you, again, not on any massive hill here, but a slight incline, that there is indeed a number of quays or places to dock ships, and larger vessels than what you've seen on these last few places that you've seen in front of you. Again, you're not massively high above, you just have a slight incline down to the docks. You walk your way down, and you're coming down an area like this, and you can see down here, and suddenly Pashket pauses. There. You see? And you can just make out there's the remains of a ship here. Definitely a ship. And a boat here. But in behind here, just where the cursor is, you can see a craft. And it appears, certainly at this stage, it appears to be more intact. Cautiously, he says, come down and I will inspect. And he leads you through this area here, down and onto the quay. He walks onto the quay. And all of a sudden, you're aware of movement around you. You've been aware of it for some time. You've seen them and heard them since you first arrived, but suddenly there's more of them, and they're making more of a racket than they were before when you first arrived. And you get to see them a bit closer now. These things that you took for monkeys, they're actually reasonably large creatures. And a couple of them, just as you're walking through here, several of them start running around in this area here, and several others start running around here, and you suddenly get a better look at them. And actually, apart from Grey, they're like no monkey you guys have ever seen before. They look like this.
Do you think they're friendly?
And this is where we are, and this is where you guys are, and I'm going to ask you each to position yourselves. So coming down from the docks, and you can position yourselves, so I've currently randomly put Keros here, Demos here, Etienne here. Oh, goodness sake. Why am I... There we go. Why is that working? You can see Pashket was going out onto the dock, and you can just make out this boat. Just see where the cursor is down there. Pashket was moving down there. I randomly put Neathmal there. And then some of these creatures, these things, have started to get a bit close. You see a few kind of moving through here. You see those that are back up in this direction here. You realise that there are some behind you. And what you took to be just monkeys are slightly different than monkeys. There are quite a few up here. And there are some you can see over here, and perhaps others scuttling through the undergrowth as well. So, you were all kind of aware of these just as Pashket stepped onto the docks. So you can all now tell me where your characters would like to be positioned. Basically in kind of anywhere in this area. And we're going to start with... And they can just go on their party order if you wish, or you can put them elsewhere. So Etienne, where would you most logically be?
Well, I think they would be in the order that we said we'd be in. So I think he'd be nearer the thing. But I think as a rule, unless we say otherwise, we're going to be quite close together rather than spread out.
Cool.
Because
So,
so much more bunched together. But if he's on the dock, or then he would turn to face back. Who's that in red?
That's tough.
Sorry, no, over to the left there. Oh, shoot. So, ideally around there, and urging people to sort of line up facing the jungle next to him.
Okay, cool. Neathmal, I put her randomly down here, but there's no reason she has to be there.
Come up near Etienne, and stand next to Etienne.
Okay.
Right next to him.
Cool.
So they're forming a big
Cool.
group
Cool.
in one space.
Leif, where are you going?
Yep, he'll fall in formation. Happy to be directed by Etienne.
Where does he go, please, Pete?
Yep, sure, there. Yep, that's
Thank
right.
you. Cool. McLeod.
She would be, if we're making a line, she'll be back, so next to Silsey, with her bow out. Yep, perfect.
Lovely. Keros. I'd randomly put you back here, Keros. You're welcome to stay there if you wish. You can go where you wish.
Keros would like to go home. In lieu of that, she will stay in the middle of the bunching group, so just then behind Silsey. She wants to stay in the middle, being,
That was Demos.
recently dead.
Okay. Cool. Demos.
Sorry. He's fine there, unless told otherwise.
Okay. Great.
Gray would want to be next to Keros.
Cool.
Yeah.
And last but absolutely no means least, where is Tarkin? There's Tarkin. Where does Tarkin go?
So a couple of things, Chris. So Tarquin we need to make a kind of a semicircle, really. So Tarquin's going to be facing towards the not monkeys in the other direction, right? They can get us from at least 270 degrees, if I'm looking at this right. So he's going to be looking up at these ones that are in the picture on the right, but yeah, there is fine. Okay. The second thing is that Tarquin's going to introspect using his demon and devil lore. It's these weird skills you never think will be useful in a million years, and odd skills you think are utterly useless that turn out to be useful. He wants to know if he can identify what this thing is, these things are, from what he's seen, in order to, work out if they're dangerous, do they have any weaknesses, are they going to attack us in a group, do we just need to growl, is there some information he knows using his lore that might help us?
Yeah, sure. Okay. All right. So we are going to go into rounds, and let's find out what happens.
Can Tarquin be as prepped as possible before rounds start?
Nope.
Tarquin needs to read the Hunger Games.
Unfortunately, Tarquin has. So does Tarquin know anything about these nasties?
Just coming. That'll be his first action.
Oh. Cool.
Wingy is actually Wingy the Peregrine Falcon, who we haven't heard from much tonight. Where is she? There she is. I think that's her as well. Actually, alarm call from Wingy.
Just in time.
She's not loving this.
No.
She's circling overhead at the stage. Not that she can see much, of course, because the foliage is incredibly thick. Next up. Okay. Yeah, this one here kind of scuttles down. They move quite fast. Gray, you remember they're quite sickening speed. And it's
not a fan.
Yeah, no. And it's kind of beating, classic monkey thing, beating its chest, waving its arms in the air. They're not huge, so you can see them there. They would come up to kind of mid thigh. Oh, sorry, mid waist. They're not massive. Yeah, another one kind of comes around here. They're not attacking, just looking. One scampers along the roof here a little bit. Definitely are fast. Another one comes up here. And this one here. And there's various shuffling in the undergrowth. from behind you. Okay. And then you hear kind of more movement at the back here, and there's definitely some up here as well. And you see one jump down, grab onto a tree, plop down here. Yeah, it's first to act.
She will look tall and have a weapon drawn and sort of be waving it quite fast in front of her, moving, yeah, and urging. Can we just go to above for a minute, please? No, we're right near the water, aren't we? You know, I guess probably urging the group to shuffle into the middle of that area. I suppose we're near enough in that area, in the space area, so we can see. No, actually, we're probably fine. Yeah, moving sword around.
She is wearing
asking if anybody knows whether we should be making aggressive noises or not. Is that what anybody, and particularly the guides, what language do these monkeys understand? Do we act aggressive or do we just stay still? What's the tactic? And ask the guide.
Okay, sure thing.
But if anything, opportunity attack anything that attacks her.
Okay. Reminder that she, as is everybody else, is wearing a pack, and I'm going to arbitrarily say you will have negative 30.
In which case, she'll take the pack off.
Okay, she dumps her pack. Okay. More movement from up here. These things scuttles down the roof. One comes down here. Quite a few of them now. Picture the cat is not happy. There's a hiss, and she circles around your legs. Keros, she's really, really not loving this. Gray, your action.
Gray's going to prepare.
Okay. There is an embarrassing sound and whimpering from Tahoe the carpenter, who's standing here. And actually, he scuttles in, still carrying his pack, and stands there. You think he might have soiled himself. Silsi looks around and, feeding off Neathanel's question, Silsi's here. Still, master, mistress, and of course, bearing in mind the people that can understand, which I think we decided the only person that couldn't was Keros. So Keros, I'm not quite sure how we do with that. We'll see. Still, they know sometimes danger, sometimes no problem, sometimes danger. So we stay, we make big, we keep our swords, we show swords, yes? And he does exactly that. He does get off his pack. He has a sword drawn, he takes his shield out, and he's just kind of watching these things circling. Leif, you're next.
Leif will prepare and opportunity attack if he needs to,
Okay.
and attack and parry if he needs to.
Okay, cool. No fun.
I'm sorry. Drop his pack to 0 action and that empty.
Drop zero. Drop.
Or
shrug it off. Yeah. Okay. I'll give it. I mean, it is technically a 0 action, but it's a pretty heavy pack. I think drop is actually a drop as opposed to shrug off the pack. So I'd actually say a shrugging off the pack is a what's realistic? What's an equivalent?
Two seconds?
20 seconds?
No, 2 seconds.
20% of the action?
Yeah, 2 seconds. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yep, 20 seconds
so-
to shrug off a pack. Yep.
Okay, so we can't prepare then.
No.
So did you say 2 or 20, Chris?
2 seconds.
Yeah.
So that means... So if having a pack on will have what penalty? So if he moves?
He will, if he moves, and it will impact his movement and nullify his agility and his quickness. His quickness. So it will reduce his quickness, and it will reduce his initiative. So it'll cancel out his quickness and his initiative and his movement. Makes sense, right? He's carrying a heavy pack.
Yeah. No, he will take that off because that means he wouldn't have a DB.
Yep.
So yeah, he will spend the 20% to take it off. And looks big.
And look big with the remaining 80. Cool. Mithun.
He will rug it off, rug the pack off, and put it, to the side where it's out of the way, and look big. She's already big. She'll look bigger.
Okay. Tarquin, you currently have your pack on. You're wanting to do a roll. What would this be? I've never actually one to look up for us, please. Tarquin, what is a law check? Is it an action? I don't actually know if it is. Oh, we'll say it's a free action because you're thinking, right?
Yeah.
So give me a thinking. Give me a roll for thinking. But so that's the way we're playing it tonight. It's a free action, it's a thinking action. But let's see if it actually is an action. It's one I've never thought about. Give me a roll.
Yes, 7. He's clearly feeling like a me.
Mask, don't forget.
Good.
And what's his bonus for Demon and Devil Law?
28.
28. Cool. Some info going into your chat. What does he do with this remaining 100% stuff?
Okay, I think Tarquin's going to suggest to the group they move down the key and away from the not monkeys. I don't know how much of his action that's going to consume.
Call it 10% to say that. I think that's reasonable. Down the key, away from the monkeys. Yep.
Yeah. And with the remaining 90%, he'll prep.
Cool. Done. Thank you. Moving down my list. Keros.
She's going to pick up her cat and go home. No. Can I just say, I'm so excited. I have not been in this situation with Keros for a long time, and I actually took her for granted, and I am so pumped about this. Okay, she's going to shrug off her pack and put it in a suitable place for 20%. And she's going to call out, she's got to be big and bold, and she's a little bit ugly. So she's going to call out cold ball ready, and she's going to opportunity cast if need be.
Okay, done. Go.
Ha yes.
Okay.
She's back.
Bring it, Keros. She's back. Demos, you've just heard your very ugly friend Keros say cold ball ready. What do you do?
Demos is gonna also shrug off his pack.
Cool.
And then I think he's gonna take a small step back and just be closer to the whimpering companion.
Okay, he doesn't. Yeah.
And just look big and opportunity parry.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Done. Done. All right. Etienne.
Yeah, he'll have his sword out, pack off.
Okay.
He is big.
Yes, he is.
So he'll look even bigger. Puff his chest up.
Okay, done.
Wave sword around.
Okay.
Look menacing.
And
Give fuck off monkey vibes.
we hadn't. I'd asked the question last time and we haven't had the chance to do it, but his weird screwing in shield thing, are we fair to say that he is operating with one hand and he permanently has that shield in for his time in the Ala-Meng? Or
Oh, definitely, yeah. He doesn't really use it for anything else, so yeah.
Okay, done.
He's given up creative writing for that one.
Okay. Very good. Next up is... yeah, there are a lot of these. So Pashket, he hisses to you for about 20% action. Good. Stay big. And he moves. I will check the boat. Please stay. He has his sword and shield out, and he is good to go. And he starts moving down. And very thick. You can see there, very thick vegetation down there, and you see him move into this grass and begin to disappear from view. Just as he moves down, he gets to about here. He's not running. He's moving cautiously. All of you hear the following. All of you hear the following. Three of those strange noises, and Pashket screams in pain and alarm. And that's the end of the round. Initiative. Any changes to initiative I need to be aware of? Going once, going twice, we're off. Game on. Another one of these things comes up and has a look. People down below it, they're moving around, they're shuffling, they're kind of peering at you, standing up on hind legs, kind of, some are waving their arms around quite aggressively. Still haven't made any move to attack yet. This one here moves closer. You can just see it. Some of you can see it peering through the undergrowth. And another one moves up here. Couple jump down from here. And some have come more have come down the stairs. Yeah.
Just waving a sword around, looking big at this point. Yeah, no, she'll just do that.
Okay.
Opportunity, chop monkey.
Okay.
If attacked, she returns.
Sure.
If she has 3 words, can she say, "We make noise?" to the nearest guide in Thebronic?
Okay. Okay. There's another scream from Pashket down here. Somewhere down here. Okay. Life.
Dear. Life is going to snap past them.
Okay.
He's going to wave his hands and gesticulate.
He has prepared 1 round.
No, he is not.
Oh, he hasn't. No, Snapcast, yes. Give me a roll, please, Pete.
Ooh. Oh, bloody hell. 10.
10 minus 30 plus 10 for waving plus 5 for gesticulation. That is a -5. Unfortunately, Pete.
Just check his base spells. Yep, base spells of 8.
Of 8. That is a 3.
And so far there's 2 in 1, right?
Hang a sec. Let me just check that roll. So that was a 10. -30 because you didn't prepare. Plus 10 for waving your arms. Plus 5 for gesticulation. Plus 8.
Shouting.
Shouting. Plus 8 for base spells.
Yep. Yes.
That is a 3. Does this is not an attack spell, correct? It is
Correct.
just, so in that case, it fails on a 1 or a 2. You just rolled a 3.
Oh, thank goodness for the gesticulation.
Every last bit helps, right? Nice work. Nice work, Pete. That spell went off by 1 point. What do you do?
So you're going to create a phantasm, so an animal.
Okay.
Has he seen a gore cat? Has he seen a large cat in any of his travels? In any of the cities we've been in the streets, in the zoos, and in Ely?
Yep. Look, his companions in the other party certainly have, and you have as a player. That's a fair question, and Ely might have some exotic creatures. Is it possible he saw one in some kind of enclosure somewhere? Yes, it possibly is. I'm going to say give me a 25% roll. If you roll under 25%, you've seen a ghoul cat.
Okay. Does an 85 work?
It does not.
He will have seen a large cat of some description, I'm sure, in his home country, right?
He's from the equivalent of Scotland.
Got tigers there? Right.
Sorry?
There
might have been they haven't got tigers there. There might have been a mountain lion. Yep, I'll give you a mountain lion. Okay.
Cool. He'll do a big mountain lion, and he'll put it between him and the closest one, which I think is that sort of bold one to the right.
Okay, done.
And it'll be threatening and snarling and yeah.
Okay.
And he'll say illusions. just to the guy, so the guides know.
Okay. There we go. This looks vaguely familiar, Gray. So we now have Pussycat. You tell me how big you want this thing to be. I'll stop when you say stop.
Oh, it has to be within 10 foot. Oh, yeah, that's great. No? 10 foot, has to be a 10 foot radius. So, the tail can radius, yep. As big as he can.
Okay, so about that. Yep.
Oh, thank you.
And where's he wanting to place it?
It's facing the one that's close to us. So, yeah. I thought there was one sort of coming up to our right. Oh, is that where I thought there was one, that one there. That I can just see actually on the left of the screen. Okay, those are the closest. Can you just pan to the right of the screen, please? I thought there was, whichever's closest. Yep. So you're right, the one to the left is closest, so right there.
Swap.
Yep.
Okay. Is there any sound associated with this phantasm?
No.
Okay. Certainly this creature scuttles back. Doesn't like that. Doesn't like that at all.
Oh, thank you.
That was a 20. That was a 75% action. What do you do with your remaining 25, please?
Carry if needed.
Cool. Done. Tarquin.
He's going to prep.
It's going to prep. Okay. 90% prep. Done.
I guess he'll save his 10% as an opportunity action to parry or protect himself if he needs to.
Okay. Cool. And yeah, there's another scream from Pashket. Help! By the gods, help! Shouting probably in a language that you will initially in Nureti and then in Thebronic. Ray, your turn.
So he prepared last round. If he wanted to glide off his pack, would that ruin that round of preparing? He just feels a bit foolish because everyone else is taking their packs off and he's the only one.
Not everybody has, no. Tarquin, Keros, etc. Demos still got their packs on, I think. Oh, no, Keros maybe hasn't.
Eros hasn't.
Yeah, she.
Would it ruin? I mean, so spell preparation. You may move up to ×2 pace. It actually should be a ×1 pace, ×1.5 pace. Misspell. Or act with 10% activity over the round while you're preparing. So what I'd say to you is, it takes. Okay, here's the way to do it. You can't take it off in one round. You can either basically break your concentration, which is what preparation is, right? And take your pack off this round, or you can get halfway through taking your pack off this round, and if you wanted to complete it next round, you could do it for the remaining 10.
Yep.
And still hold your preparation.
Yep. Okay, so he's gonna do the halfway and keep preparing, but be prepared to act if he needs to.
Done. Etienne.
So he's gonna move towards the screams from help, but he's gonna back up, not really his back.
Okay. So what speed is he moving?
Well, he doesn't want to fall over, so how he feels, he doesn't want to show his back to a monkey.
So I need to know what speed he's moving at so we can figure out the distance he can move. Can you tell me how far he moves, please?
Well, I'd like to move to just short of where Chummy was.
Okay. So the last time you saw him was. Oh no. I knew I had something else to do here. I didn't do the thing. I'm going to say that Etienne can move for free, walking up to here. Maybe a little bit further up to here. What does?
Oh, it shrunk.
What's that? Sorry.
It shrunk.
He's shrunk. Yeah. What is he? So that's that at a walking pace. Is he moving faster than a walking?
If he's able to skip backwards, he would like to go a little bit further than that.
Okay.
Maybe time and a half. But doesn't want to go too close. And he's going to urge Mithan to come because he knows that Mithan's good with poisons and stuff.
Okay.
So if that was indeed a snake, it might be handy. So he doesn't want to go back into the snakes, but he wants to protect. He wants to see if he can help. If someone else runs forward, great. He'll protect their movement. It's
So
probably fine.
he moves out of view, mostly out of view of the party, but into view here. And Graham, I'd like you to join. And again, apologies for the technical issues. Distance. Can you join me in chat room 1, please?
In which case, I'm going to go grab a cup of tea, guys. Back in a sec.
Hello.
Hello.
Sorry about that, Graham. I thought
Yeah, I don't think he wouldn't go into the undergrowth. He's just going to see if he can see, and if anyone else moves, he would actually act in their. I have a feeling, yeah.
Okay.
So he's going to act in their defence. So whether you want to play that as an opportunity, I don't know.
Okay, so he gets to there, and he can't see what's going on through there. He will have to move into the underground.
So he's going to see what the other characters do because he's probably not best placed to assist. So he will assist in anyone else moving, which is probably happening concurrently, right? So he'll protect their back from any monkey attack.
Okay, so let's go back into the main chat.
You could definitely take a few of them out.
Alrighty.
But yeah.
We attack them, they're going to attack us all.
Alright, so Etienne didn't move forward into the undergrowth. He's staying there, and he sees nothing at this stage. But you do see up in front of you hands waving, and something is definitely going on with your main guide.
Camera, Chris, please.
Sorry, thank you. Thank you.
I need to go and some money.
Mason.
See you later, Mason.
Mason.
I'm sure I'll be in touch. I'm thinking about coming back for a couple of weeks in November, so I'm around. I will let you know.
Yay.
All the best.
Right.
Great playing with you, Mason.
Enjoy.
All the best.
I hope
Good
you
luck.
stay in touch.
Bye. Aiden, the heavy burden of responsibility of Demos now weighs on your shoulders. He's all yours.
Oh, God.
Cool. Etienne moved up to there. Etienne, you can see there's clearly something going on with Pashket. You can see movement in there, but you can't see anything more at that stage. Moving up. Tahoe the Carpenter, Demos does have the peace of mind to draw his sword. What does Pashket do? Does try to... Oh no, he can't. Actually, Etienne, you hear it, a clatter of steel. By Pashket, you hear him, you suspect, say a very bad word in the grass in front of him. Next up is Demos. Demos, what do you do?
Where is he? Which one is he?
Demos is here.
I actually think he might try and slowly slink after Etienne to see if he can help stab anything through the bushes.
Okay.
But he'd be going really slowly and carefully.
So tell me where he'd go.
Just behind Etienne.
Okay. All right.
And his spear is ready.
Okay, done. Okay, next up is Keros.
So I'm assuming nothing's been translated for her language-wise.
No.
She's not.
No.
So she's just picking up that the creepy monkeys are there. She's heard the scream from Pashkat.
Yep.
She's seen the two move off.
She's heard Tarquin say, well, it depends what language Tarquin will be speaking in. But Tarquin did say, let's move off down the pier, but I don't know what language that was in.
It'll be in, I think they all speak a language. What's the language they all speak? I thought there was a language.
Yes, Westron, which none of the guides speak. So that was the whole...
That's fine. He would have said it in Westeron.
Okay, so she has heard that, but that's it. Everything else, what the guides have said, has all been in a language she doesn't understand.
So she's ready to fight.
Mm-hmm.
She's not getting any indication that's what we're doing from people around her.
Mm-hmm.
She's ready to cast. She's going to hold fire and call out, what are we doing?
Okay. So she's preparing this round? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Silsi, hearing cries from the undergrowth, starts moving at pace. He's running. Not sprinting, but running. Carefully. And you hear him as he comes through that grass. There's this, you hear him gasp in horror at whatever he's just seen. And you hear again. And the undergrowth in front of both Ewan's, Etienne and Demos just starts moving, and clearly there's something going on with these two. And they're shouting in Nureti. Mifan, what are you doing?
She's seen 3 people go there. No. She didn't understand what was being said either, because it was Silsi who gave the instructions, and he doesn't speak South Tongue. She doesn't speak Bronic, so she can't help with the translation. She will change weapon. She will drop her bow and draw her broadsword.
Drop is a free action. Drawing a bow, drawing a weapon is a 20% action. Does she still have her pack on?
No, she had taken that off.
Okay, cool.
Yep, and she'll and get her shield too.
Okay, done.
And she'll call out in South Tongue, I can help with poison.
Okay.
Directing it over her shoulder, and also and place it in Westron.
This thing moves up, and this one here that's been kind of staying back jumps down into the foliage, and these two move up. They're definitely getting closer. These two have moved down the stairs, away from the beast. They're not paying as much attention to this tiger as you would have expected, necessarily. And they're moving closer. And that is the end of the round. End of round. Initiative. Any change to initiative I should be aware of? Nope. And we're off. These ones here have seen this thing and are definitely keeping their distance. Others are scrambling around and have come over here, keeping away from it, but are kind of climbing through the ruins. Another one plops down here. Okay. Oops, what was that? Yeah, this one here. This horrible, horrible thing here. That. Moves forward, and it is fast, right? Really, really, really fast. And lashes out. It's kind of been hanging out in the foliage, and lashes out with its talons at Lake. Kind of comes up. It's still quite hesitant, so it's not like doing a full-on attack and leaping to get him, but it kind of rushes up fast, swings at him, and then tries to dart back.
Local parry.
Mm-hmm. One. There we go. What's Lace parry?
He's carrying 30.
30. Cool. Lovely.
He's got, yeah, and he has got a shield.
And he's got, yep, so I've got a DB of 19, a shield of 20, and he's parrying 30.
Yep.
This creature moves and attacks, so moves a bit. And yeah, with the shield, you basically turn it away, and it rushes back and kind of starts lurking in the foliage again. Still within attacking range, but it hasn't like leapt at you and tried to leap onto your body and bite you. It's just kind of a testing attack. You turn it aside with relative ease with your shield. This one here has got a longer distance, but comes up and does exactly the same thing at speed to Grey. It's travelled further, so its attack will be lessened. It's moving and attacking, so it will definitely have a penalty on its attack. Now, Grey, in terms of your defensive bonus, you tell me you've got your shield, I believe, and your DB is 18. Is that right? And you're halfway off getting your pack.
Yes. Sorry, just trying to figure out what my defensive bonus is. How do you? Sorry, where's your defensive bonus?
That's all right. I've got it. We're all good.
Oh, you got it. Okay,
Yep.
Cool.
Glancing attack. So exactly the same. It moved further, but this one seems a bit bigger and a bit tougher. And it lashes out with its claw. Glancing attack on Grey, 1 hit point. Literally 1 hit. And then moves back. Not so far, actually, because it moved quite a long way to attack Grey. Quite close. But these guys. Nope. So, yeah, more of them are taking an interest. They're not necessarily all attacking, or they're not necessarily all coming down. Some are just looking by the looks of things. But they're certainly curious, and they look vicious. And Grey, you really are getting flashbacks here. You really didn't enjoy.
Yeah, he's not happy.
No, considering what happened to him last time. I think that's all of them. Yeah, it is. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, this one here does exactly the same. Who's on that? That's Neathan. He comes up and very short distance and attacks Neathan.
70-30.
Okay, what's the actual? Can you actually, as Pete really helpfully did, can you actually give me the number? Like the unfortunately the software I'm using doesn't be really handy if it did split your percentage up, but the actual number that you're carrying.
30% of my plus of my sword, you mean?
Yes, that's right.
Uh, 35.
35. Perfect. Thank you. Just makes a big difference in terms of the attack. Right, she's got her shield out with the DB and with 35. Lovely. And yeah, not even close, Neathanel. It again, kind of testing you. They're not, as I say, they're not jumping up and trying to bite yet. They're just testing kind of a swipe and then ducking back. Moves up, and that's not committing all of its attack to try to attack. So moved. Nothing. Moves back. It goes back to the. This one here doesn't. It comes up to here and is just jumping around kind of in front of Mithan, looking at Mithan, kind of sizing her up. Mithan's pretty big, and it's just looking a bit wary on Mithan at this stage. This one here comes up and attacks the Ethanol on this side. It'll be a flank. Parry the other one. You said your parry was 70-30, so no parry on this one, and you use your shield on the last one. You can only use your shield on one foe, so you use your shield on the last one. So that's just down to your natural DB to jump out of the way. 15 and a B. Slashes at you, Nathan. Oh, and it gets a flank. Two hit points. Can you please roll a disease check for just a second? 1 second, just hold off. Okay, yep, let me give me a roll.
74 plus 103.
Lovely, thank you. Excellent. And it's like its companions moves back. It's moved back a long way, but moves back to you.
So the opportunity attack doesn't work?
You haven't had your turn to act yet.
Oh, I see.
This round.
For the last round, oh, I see.
Last round, sure. Absolutely last round. And a third one. Seeing the success of its companion, does the same on the athlete.
I think we could do with bunching up a bit.
Just a slash at the stage. Jesus. That's an 86. Yeah. And that's a flank. It's a 15 and a B. I'm going to roll the B. At the time I rolled a B in the open. Here's the B. Exclamation mark. Space. B100.
Let's see.
It's a B. Gashes your leg really badly, Neathel. It's a nasty injury. You're bleeding at 3 hits a round. You take 5 hits. You're stunned next round. You're at negative 25. 3 hits around, you're bleeding. Not massively badly, but you're bleeding. You take another 5 hits, and you're stunned next round. You're at negative 25. Ouch. That hurt. 11. This one does the same on Leif. Seems to be reasonably cowardly, rushing in, taking a swing, and coming back. Leif, you've already parried. So I don't believe you can parry again this round.
Yeah, you can split your parry, right?
You told me how much you were parrying, and you used all of it on that first one, correct?
Okay. Yep, okay.
You can split your parry. You can parry between 2 people, but you've got to know before I've got to know before the attack if you're planning on doing that.
Sure. Yep. I'll do that next time.
You get your DB and your shields. Doesn't get a flank on you. No. These ones from the Athenal definitely came in on the side because she's attacked. No, I'm going to say it does. Because you did get a full-on attack on you, so it makes sense that this one would come on the side. Exactly the same injury again. It rolls. The first attack on the Athenal was a 99. The second attack on the Athenal was an 86. This attack on you, Leif, is a 94. But it was a 4. But it was a 4. Glancing blow, 0 hits.
So a B itself?
It was a B itself, yes. God, you guys rolled, well, not you, but the computer rolled terribly for your initiative. Neathanel, it is your turn. You are stunned this round.
I can shuffle a bit, can't I?
Yep. So, yes, you can. So it wasn't stun no parry, was it? It was just stunned.
You said stunned.
Yeah, but it wasn't stun no parry. That's my point.
You know, you just said stunned. That's what you said.
Okay, cool. For this number of rounds, the target may not attack. They may only parry with half their offensive bonus. Normal DB and quickness, shield, etc. is not affected. The only other action allowed is movement and maneuvers, both modified by -50. So you can still move at 50%. What does she do? Or she can try to maneuver at 50, like doing a movement.
Well, she wants to back into the party, so she's less exposed.
Okay.
She's bleeding, but she's going to keep her blade up, and she's waving it around ferociously. And now, can she hold any other opportunity action over to the next round?
No.
All right. Well, it doesn't seem very likely we're going to hit them then, is it? Right. Well, she'll just back into there and parry with what she's got left.
Okay. Done. Cool. You guys are all really bad on initiative. The computer did for you. Keros, you've just seen a number of your companions just get clawed by these creatures.
Do you mind pointing out where the monkeys are?
Here. Oops. Oh.
One.
Damn it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Okay.
13. Why isn't my little arrow working?
I'm happy with that. Thank
Yep.
you. And she know nothing of the language beyond Tarquin saying get to the boats. She's seen this happen. And Keros is there. Is that Neathnal directly in front of, well, the right of the screen, but directly, sorry, that's her, Neathnal there. And who's to her right, or my right, which would be her left, if she's facing that way.
Right.
And then,
Life.
has she got a clean shot on any of these critters?
Clean shot with what?
Or she was preparing the previous round to cast Ice Ball. So she's planning to cast, but obviously doesn't want to hit a teammate.
She definitely has two teammates, or definitely has one teammate directly in front of her there. So there's Neathnal right there.
Yeah.
Neathnal right there. There is both Mitham and Leif there. I'd give you this direction. She's pretty open here.
Okay. And then up on that wall to the left of the screen, where there were the steps and the wall, the other side, sorry, the other left.
Is that what you're talking about? Yep.
Yeah, up there. We've got a few critters up there, haven't we?
Yep. You've got one up there, and there's definitely movement over here.
Okay. She would like to, somewhat as a warning and somewhat not, cast Ice Ball into the foliage away from her teammates, just below the corner of that wall. There's a 90-degree angle of that wall with a monkey on top of the 90 degrees. To keep going along to your left or my left. Yep. So, and then down, sort of in that vicinity, she's going to cast Ice Ball.
Okay. What's her target? Where's the main point that she's aiming for?
The first shrubbery area there. She doesn't necessarily want to hit anything, but she wants to cause a scare. See that first bush?
Here?
Behind, yeah.
Well, again, she's in this direction. If she's firing up, she's not gonna. There's no chance of hitting her companions. If she's firing flat, she will be firing through both Tarquin. There's definitely. I think there's enough of a gap there to say that's reasonable. This here, I think that's too close. between you.
She wants to lob it over. Has she got the capacity to lob it over?
Yeah.
What's
So,
the description of the spell?
if we did this last time when she was trying to chuck it into the cave. She really has no idea necessarily where it'll go though. Like it's basically like a hand grenade was the analogy.
Okay, so she'll lob it up onto the wall where that critter is.
Okay.
She wants to cause a scare. She doesn't feel like they're overly aggressive. They're just opportunistic and to cause a scare.
Okay. So she's casting up here, correct?
Yes, she's going to aim at that one, and she's going to scream and yell and gesticulate and hiss and do all of that lovely stuff.
Go for it.
Thank you. More to cause a fright to these critters, hopefully that they run off.
Okay.
Because they don't seem overly... Anyway, she's rolled a 1-9, 19. I thought it was the other way around.
That's a shame.
She has prepared one round, and she also has the PowerPoint multiplier.
She of course doesn't need to prepare, does she? But she.
It doesn't, but she did.
But she would get a bonus for that. So she is effectively. She always starts with +0. That's her state. So she's prepared 1. It's +10. Pete, why do I always forget this?
I think it is +10.
It is +10. Yep, I always forget this. Cool. Heros on number 13. And
now the skill with Ice Bolt, does she get half for the ball, or that doesn't matter? No, it's been so long since I've done this. Sorry.
Yeah, sure. Ice Ball, because it is not a directed spell like her shot bolt. It's just she basically just lobs it, so she gets her base spells added onto it.
Oh, yep, and that is... Oh, it's been so long since I've done this. Where is base... Oh, no, here. Sorry, guys.
That's all right.
Base spells. It's on my big list, isn't it? Base spells is... Oh. -1.
-1, that's all right. And the roll was a 19?
Yes, 1-9.
Remember, you can train in your bolt spells. You can't train in your ball spells. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. For what that's worth. The distance is... I don't know, what is that? 60 foot? Call that 60 foot? Yeah, there you go. That's 60 foot. Yep. So the spell goes off. The spell works. Oh, hang on a minute.
I didn't hear my sound effects.
Yeah, it's just coming. I just realised I didn't add on the +10. I don't think that's going to make a difference, but let's try.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
+15 for stuff.
Yes. Thank you. I did forget that too. So that is +35 in total. +10 for prep, +10 for shouting, and +5. It's 25. Okay. And the attack roll was a 19. Yeah, this thing is really agile, and even though the spell does go off, very handily with those additional bonuses. And here's the sound effect. Can't forget the sound effect.
No, it's my favourite part.
Here we go. The spell smashes into the area here. What's the radius of the spell, please?
It is 20.
20. Pete, help me with ice balls. What is affected and what's not? You get your DV.
I should have been looking that up.
Yeah, you get your DV, but not your shield.
Yeah, that sounds... I'll check it and get back to you. Sorry.
Yeah. So you can leap out of the way, but your shield, which kind of makes sense, right? You can leap out of the way, but your shield is helpless because the thing is all around you. Yeah. And how? What was the radius, please?
20.
20. That's huge.
But it's 60 away, right?
Yeah, it's. Yes, it is. Yeah. You're not in any harm. You're definitely not in any harm of hurting your companions.
Okay, that's my thing. Yep. Just had a little moment there. Where are we going?
Flashbacks much? 2 and 1, and would it probably would have affected these two.
Sorry, can I just butt in? I just was reading the area of effect thing, and it gets plus 20 to the person who's the target.
Yes.
There was a plus 20 area of effect modification for any target at the center point chosen by the caster of the spell.
True, but we've already done the same.
Yeah,
effect,
sure.
But,
Yep.
but that's why you need to know your spells. It's all good to know that. So no, that's opportunity lost on that. And pretty sure. I'm almost certain, Pete, its shields are negated, but DB isn't. So unfortunately, Keros, the ball kind of lands wide. It actually lands through this window. You cast it a little bit too far. It explodes inside. Great sound, by the way. Fantastic sound. Ice baby. And there's additional squawking and horrible noises from these things. They really, suddenly the sounds they're making, they're clearly quite alarmed with this. And this one gets enough of a fright that it scampers away, scampers over here. And this one backs off, but it didn't injure any.
Did it scare any of the ones down with us?
No.
Oh. Okay, sorry.
Gray, your turn. Oh, sorry, Keros, that was a 75% action. You've got 25 left to go. Do you do anything else with your 25?
I would just scream at the one on the ethanol.
Okay. Okay, fair enough. Cool. Gray, you're next.
Gray's gonna cast Animal Sleep ×3.
Okay.
He's been preparing for 2 rounds.
Cool, lovely. He gets +0 to the roll. Give me a roll, please.
And he's gonna quietly gesticulate. He doesn't want to alert them too much to what's happening.
Okay. So that's a +5 rather than a +15.
Yeah, go on.
Okay.
Okay. There we go. Uh, 26.
26.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. What's his level, please?
7.
+7. It's his base spells. Where's he aiming for, Gray? And this will make a difference in terms of the range.
So he's gonna go for the one that's attacked Leif and the one that's attacked Neathanel and the one that attacked him. So the one that kind of came at him.
Yeah, I think with this, it's got to be in your field of vision, or a field of vision, and that way you're looking at a target here. I think. Check the spell. Check the spell. See if I'm wrong. But
it's just a range of 100 foot.
Can you read out the spell, please?
Sure. Puts any animal non-humanoid to sleep. Will not affect enhanced creatures or intelligent animals.
Okay. Would have thought it has a target, but maybe it doesn't. Because usually in this game, you target an area and it goes from that target. And if it doesn't affect that one, it can go out, or it does affect that one, it goes out to the others. It doesn't say. So I guess what I can do is, if you tell me who your prime target is, and then we can go, and we'll resolve it on that one, because the range may make a difference. So
selfishly, he probably would go for the one that's in front of him that kind of came at him, because he's terrified of monkeys for some reason.
Yeah, for some bizarre reason. Yep. Okay, so that one there, there's basically, it's right on. So you're not touching it, but it's within 10 foot, so that is a plus 10. Sorry, what was the roll again? After all that?
26.
26 plus 5 for gesticulation, plus 10 for range, plus 7 for his level is 48. Okay. And he prepared for how many rounds? 1 round or 2?
2 rounds.
2 rounds, so plus 0 on the roll. Okay. So this is a pure. And how many levels does it affect, please, Gray?
How many levels?
Oh, it doesn't say how many levels it affects. No. 3. Thanks, Pete.
3. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
3 animals, right?
3 animals. Yeah, 3 animals.
3 animals. Just
3
It's
different.
not based on their level. It's just based on them. Okay. Cool.
Yes.
Thank you. 3 animals. Thank you. Very good. So that is that. You are level 7. It is level that. It's got to beat. This thing has to beat a 66. Here's the first roll. Exclamation mark. R space D 100. Oops. Caps. Exclamation mark. R space D 100. Coming at you. It's got to beat a 66. You rolled a 31.
Ooh, he's down.
Sleepy time. Cool. That one's down and out. Next target, Gray.
Well, I do think he probably would know that there was one attacking the ethanol, because she's probably been making some commotion, and Keros did scream at it, and he's quite concerned about what happens with Keros, so I think he would probably notice that one. So he probably would try and put that one to sleep.
Alright, I'll give you that. That's a little bit further away, so you don't get plus 10 on that, so that's negative 10. It's a 38. This one here is that number. Same. It's got to roll. It's got to roll a 51 or better. Exclamation mark. R space E 100. How about that?
Hey.
Down.
Die.
Locked. And then your third and final critter.
I think it was the other one that's kind of next to it that was kind of going for the ethanol, but I know the one kind of on the left of it.
Yeah.
Or do you think you can't see that one?
Yeah, I'm not going to give you anything over here. That's kind of out of your field of vision, and I'm being a bit generous. I'm being a bit generous, really, to give you this.
Okay. Cool. Probably then that one. To the left of that one. Yeah, that guy there.
This guy in here.
Yeah, that guy. That little critter.
Number 10. Is this revenge, by the way?
Oh, definitely this is going to be some revenge.
Oh. So this one, how far away is this? 56. Yeah, this has got to roll a 76 or better. Exclamation mark. R space D 100. 40. 3 for 3, Gray. 3 for 3.
Like that, monkeys.
Very nice. Nice work. Well done. And another golf clap. And that one goes down. Oops.
Does he have any capacity left to just shake his pack off, or is it still halfway off?
Good question. Casting a spell is a 75% action. He had 10% left of his pack to take off. He can shrug the rest of his pack off. And he's still got 5%.
He's going to use that to parry if he needs to.
Done.
Just a wind parry.
Done. Nice work, Gray. Tarquin.
Chris, can you just pan out how far away is the end of the pier?
I've said that's 70. Call that 60 foot to there, to Etienne.
Yep, that's not the end of the pier though, is it?
Oh, the end. No, I didn't hear you, Giles.
My apologies. Yeah, no, the end, as far as he can go. Yep.
What is that? 60, 80, call it 200 foot maybe? Really annoying.
Right, and that's okay. That's going to take him down to where it says GM chance, right?
I can't see where it says GM chance. Down to...
So it's the end of the pier. There are no... Yep. So we will have seen coming down. The end of this pier looks pretty clear. And can you just show us where is this boat we were busy peering at?
Down here.
Okay. So Tarquin's going to cast Leaving 3.
Okay.
And he's going to target the end of the pier.
Okay, cool. Can he see? He can't see the end of the pier though. From where he's at.
He has to have seen it. He has to know where he's going, right? So we will have come down these steps.
Up here, yeah.
We looked through to where the boat was, so he must have been able to see this end of the pier,
right.
so he didn't know where his off was.
I'll give you that. Yep. He can't see it. He definitely can't see it now, but yes, he would have seen it when he came down. Yep, got it. So what's the distance he can go?
So leaving 3, he can go up to 300 feet.
Okay, that would put him at the end of the pier.
Perfect.
Cool. Okay, give me a roll, please.
He's going to wave his hands and shout and yell and do all of that stuff. Don't know if that's going to help.
As a mentalism user, he can only get which one? Waving. Plus 10.
Cool.
Yep, cool. You're doing it on camera. Great. Give me a roll.
He rolled a 2. And his base spells are 8.
Okay, how long has he been preparing for?
2 rounds, or is it 0?
Sorry, a 1 or a 2, a natural 1 or a 2, always fails.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yep, it always fails. So if you modified that and it ended up being a 1 or a 2, that's okay. But a 1 or a 2 always fails, unfortunately.
You could have remembered that after the spell, correct?
I could have. Can you roll on the spell failure table, please, Tarquin?
I think he's going to, explode. Maybe this is going to cause a monkey to stick a knife in his neck.
Maybe.
32.
32. Spell causes caster to lose spell, but not the spell points. So, yeah, you're very lucky. You don't lose your power points, but you cast a spell. It's ineffectual. Nothing happens. It doesn't say you're stunned or anything, so I'd say you'd still have 25% left to act if you wish.
How much do we have to use to snapcast?
10.
So tempting, and that's 30, isn't it? So he's going to have minus 30 to his roll, isn't he, if he snapcasts?
No. So hang on. Two distinctions. You can. There are snapcast is still a 75% action. Sorry, I misunderstood. There are instantaneous spells, which are a 10% action. If you wanted to cast without preparing, it's still 75%. So he couldn't try again, and you also can't try to cast. You can't cast 2 spells in a round.
Twice in 1 round. I remember that. Yeah. So he's going to just opportunity action parry.
Okay. Already?
I think he'll say with 3 words, jumping Pier's end.
Okay, done.
In whatever it is, Westeron, the language they can all understand.
All by your guides. Yep, sure. Speaking of your guides, there's there's definitely movements this way and yelling and screaming from both your guides in the foliage. Mithan.
Mithan is going to. Can you just rotate the camera a little bit? Yep. She's going to go and chop at that one there. Perfect.
That one there? Yep. Okay, it's minimal distance. No need for any action. No need to take any movements. Make a roll, please.
40.
Cool. Yep. And she's using her sword, 99, I believe. Is that right?
Correct. Exactly right.
Cool. And she parrying this round? You told me, so I'm assuming not.
Nope.
Okay. Full attack. And what was the roll?
Actually, she'll just save a little bit of movement, actually, so if we can drop it down to 90. So, because she wanted to move away at the end. She rolled a 40.
So she attacks with an 89, effectively.
Yep.
Rolls a 40. These things, Mithan, are very fast. She swipes at it with her sword, and it dances out of the way. But it does back off a bit. Yeah, didn't like being the sharp, shiny, pointy thing at it.
She's quite big. She'll snarl at it.
Yep.
Yep. And then she will just sort of move back to where she was. She's not going to herself way out there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Leif is next.
Can I just get a read on where the rest of the monkeys are to his right?
Yep.
Yeah. Cool. Yep. Right. He is going to.
Quite a few.
Yeah. He's going to cast a sound mirage.
Okay.
So he's not prepared. He's risking it again.
Yep.
Ooh, waving and all that stuff.
Yep.
Cool. 30.
30. 30, no preparation. Negative 30, but plus 8.
Correct. Plus 15.
Plus 15. That is a successful spell. Spell goes off. What happens?
He's doing a mirage, the sound mirage of a big cat growling, snarling, threatening.
Okay, cool. Where?
So it's got a radius of 10 foot, so a 20-foot area, and he wants to capture the 3 in front of here. Yep, them.
Okay, cool.
A 20-foot area.
Cool, alright. Etienne is next.
Sorry,
and 25% action feat.
No, he used that for his parry.
Yep, no reaction because the creatures have already acted this round.
Okay, cool.
Etienne is next. Hello, Etienne.
Etienne's not doing any good there, really, is he? He's going to rejoin the group and shout loudly as he runs back into the group. If he has anything left at the end of his movement, he'll parry.
Okay. All right. Cool. He runs back. Demos, you're the only one left, and you're the only one that can see this. So, can you join me in chat room 1, please?
Yep.
Hello.
Hello.
Wow, Demos, under your firm
Hello.
control. So now the camera will have gone off for you. Hang on a sec. I'll just rejoin it. Oops. You can see that, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So Demos, you're here, and you've just seen Etienne turn to go, and you see to your horror something coming out of the undergrowth, and it's got hold of Pashket. It's not huge, and at first you think there's just one, and then you actually realize there's more than one, and it's dragging Pashket, your lead guide. They are them. There's two of them down and over the wall. He's fighting as best he can, but he's looking kind of weak. This is what the thing looks like. Doesn't look like that. It looks like this.
Oh. Ew. Okay.
There are two of them.
Okay.
This is it.
There's two.
It's two. Yep.
Two that he can see. Okay.
So he can see. He can see two of them here. He's just peering through, probably giving him a there. He couldn't see from in here. That's dense, but he can just make out Pashket's on the ground. One is kind of grabbing onto Pashket's shoulders with its tentacles and yanking him, and the other one is on the other side doing the same. And you can hear
ceasing.
Yeah. Yeah. Silsey, yelling and screaming and shouting. You speak to Veronica, help, for God's sakes, help.
But there's probably even more. Okay. Okay. If he walks forward to attack, can he also speak?
Distance to attack, he would need to run.
Okay.
I wish my... I said that was a walk from there to there. No, I said that was a walk from there to there and there. If he jogged, he could jog and attack, but he'd have... and he would have negative 50 to his roll, because he's moving and attacking. I'd give him 5 words.
Okay. So he is gonna jog and try and spear the one closest to him, and he's gonna say, Etienne, guides attacked by monsters. Guides being attacked by monsters.
Guides being attacked by monsters. There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Give me... I'm not going to ask for a running roll. He moves up. And using his spear, and the length of it does help.
Yes.
He lashes out and tries to get this one here. Give me a roll, please.
45.
So on that one there, 45. He is using his spear. He's not carrying any 122. This thing is on the ground, and it's moving. That's a good shot. Oh, sorry. What was the roll? 45.
Yes.
An even better shot. 20 in an E. Good Good shot.
20.
Where's my wee? Where's my wee? Nice work, Demos.
Is it dead?
Let's find out. So you do it 20 hits. Roll the critical, please. Could be with a good result.
Oh, come on, Demos. Oh, 41.
41. Cool. It hits it on one of its legs. You do another 3 hits. And it starts kind of leaking kind of purple fluid out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the end of your turn.
Okay.
Nice. And you see, to your horror, yes, in here, Silsi is being dragged, this time, other direction.
Yep.
And you've definitely seen one more of these things.
Okay.
And there is another one. There's a third one on. Well, you're not sure if Silsi's being dragged or if he's fighting one. You're unsure, but you definitely see a third one of these. Where is it?
I think you hit it. Oh yeah. Yep. Down there.
No, it's not down there. That was just my. A third one of these is up. Oops, and trying to drag Lunch, i.e. Pashket, down and into and over the edge and into the foul.
So he's got 3 on him.
He does. One is behind him. One are on either side, and they seem strong. Like they're really.
Yeah, he's fighting them, but he's kind of weak, I'm guessing.
Well, he's on the ground. They've pulled him down to the ground, and they're, he's trying to bat them off, but he's on the ground and they're pulling him. One's kind of, he's fighting one off with its hand, and the other one's kind of yanking him and has pulled him, and he's almost off the edge of that lip, and he's about to fall head first onto those stones. And then once he falls onto those stones,
he's gone.
They're looking to pull him in here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bye-bye, guide. Okay. Cool. Thank you, main game chat. Thank you very much.
I'm happy to do whatever.
Cool.
Personally. Jump over the wall, whatever. Yeah.
You guys all hear, you were shouting, correct, Demos?
Yes.
What were your 5 words that you all
guides being attacked by monsters.
Okay.
You turn your screen on, Chris?
Yeah, just about to. Just go.
Guys, I'm going to slope off for the night. So I'll speak to you soon.
Sleep well. Take care.
Yeah. Bye. Yeah.
Do we want to wrap at the end of this round? This is the end of this round. Do we want to call it there, guys?
Yeah.
If that's okay.
Yeah.
If it's okay. Yeah.
Next sector. That is there we go. That is the end of the round. Graham, perfect timing.
Yep.
End of the round. There we go, folks. Welcome to the Ala-Meng.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Good to do
Yeah, the film is going to be slow going.
Goddamn monkeys.
Monkey magic.
Yeah.
Screen's not on for you guys yet. Credits are rolling.
Nice one.
It doesn't look like any monkey I've seen.
We call them the Not monkeys, right?
I had a question actually. So, with some of the skills that you can use, Gray has one called Lesser Cloaking, which allows them to be undetectable by like animals of low intelligence. But it only works if he's concentrating. Could he concentrate and also stab?
So, it's a really good question. I'll just switch